I grew up in a little place called Haltom City, Texas, which is just outside of Fort Worth, between Fort Worth and Dallas. And I went to a high school called Haltom High School, which was the Haltom Buffaloes. A lot of the same things I'm interested in now. I was a runner, as you know, we've been doing some running together, and I was a runner in high school. I've been running since I was a junior high. That's always been a part of my life. I've always been interested in airplanes. I've always been interested in space. So naturally, I was fairly interested in NASA pretty much from the beginning. And technology was an interest. Computers were an interest back then. Yeah, I was programming computers in junior high school. I went to college at Texas A&M University in College Station, Texas, and I studied aerospace engineering. And then from there, I went on to graduate school and got a master's degree at the University of Texas up the road in Austin. And that was also in the aerospace engineering department. But my actual coursework and my degree work is geared as much towards earth science as it was towards engineering. So I did some of both. I've always been interested in these things: airplanes, technology, computers, science. From as long as I can remember. My mother will tell you I used to take apart take apart flashlights when I was a little kid. Used to drive her crazy doing stuff like that. I've always liked to know how things work. I've always been interested in it. But one of the things that really got me going was when I was, I think I was a senior in high school. In Fort Worth, there was a very good science museum in the city I grew up in. And they had an Omni Theater, which was, I'm not sure Omni Theaters even exist anymore, but at the time it was a big domed theater with real fancy, real high tech and surround sound. It was an amazing experience. And they had a program on a space program, a movie on the space program. It's called The Dream is Alive. And at that time it was mostly about the space shuttle program. And at the impressionable age of 17 years old, I came out of that just thinking, that's what I'm about. That's what I want to do. That's perfect. It fits me perfectly. And I still think that. It really did. Yeah, there's so many neat things about this job. It's hard to pick a favorite, but I think one of them is probably the variety of people that I get to work with, particularly when we're in the field. So when we're back home, well, not just in the field really, but back home too, because back home I work mainly with scientists, sort of higher level scientists who take the data that we collect and then turn it into distilled knowledge about the planet, about the world that we live in the form of published papers. And so being in contact with them lets me and lets the project know what they need, what kind of raw data they need to feed the research that they're doing. And then we take that in a formal and informal process. We take that and turn that into a plan to go collect that data. And that requires me to work with all the instrument teams, the flight crews, the pilots, the maintenance guys, and all the local folks out in the field. If they were interested in following in my footsteps, I think one thing I would tell them would be to have a little more fun, because I think when I was younger, I probably didn't have quite enough. I was a very serious student. And that was true all the way through college. And once I was in grad school, I learned to loosen up a little bit. But looking back, sometimes I wish I had maybe been a little bit less serious about my studies and had a little bit more fun. I wouldn't want to go too far in that direction, because I had good grades in school, and that actually got my foot in the door. You can't argue with good grades. That really does help you, gets you started in life. But on the other hand, having a little more fun every now and then wouldn't have been such a bad thing either.